All right, everybody, welcome into Average Joe Sports Talk. This is our weekly high school preview. We're on to the third round of the playoffs. Not as many teams as normal to talk about, but, we do have some very intriguing matchups right here. Some of them look unbelievable on paper, and some of them are a little deceiving on paper. We'll get into that a little bit. I want to start the show off like we usually do with Etowah. Coming off a big win on the road. You're playing Central Clay County now, which those of you who don't know is the old Clay County and Lineville teams who's got their legendary coach back now. Is this his first year back?
I think his second year.
Second. Okay, so Danny Horn's back. And those of you who don't know that much about Danny Horn, the man has 6 rings. He's a legendary coach from Clay County. At one point, he had his teams on a 55-game winning streak. In 1996, his team had 11 shutouts in one season.
And that's a state record, but still holds.
Yeah, and that is a state record that still holds. Unbelievable. Unbelievable coach. 2 very good defensive teams. They're only giving up 10 points a game, correct? Is that correct? Is that right?
Yes.
So you got one defense giving up roughly, at this point, 7 or 8, and one giving up 10?
Yeah, in their last, on their 6-game winning streak, they only given up 6 a game.
6 a game.
Yeah,
all right,
in the last 6 games.
From seeing what you know and know, we all know, everybody watching this knows, Etowah is nasty on defense. And how do you see this playing out?
It's going to be, and one other thing I didn't mention in our other show was Justin Harris went down.
His shoulder, right?
Shoulder.
When they get the MRI?
MRI, I think is today or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Usually those things are kind of as long as nothing structural in there is messed up. It's kind of going to depend on his pain threshold. But you can't really say you haven't seen the MRI yet. So hopefully he's back. Even if it's not this week, the week after. I'm going to go on the assumption he's not going to be there this week though. Which in return, when Dericki slid out the corner, that's why Dericki was on coverage. That one play last week.
Who slid in for him?
You had Ollie Finch still over the top, and then a couple other kids pop in there and play some defense too. I've seen Trent line up at corner a couple times this year. I don't know if that's in the cards or not. Emil comes over the top too. Emil Smith comes in over the top at safety. Him and Ollie go to safety, and I guess Dericki just slides out in the corner is basically what happens there. I have seen Emil at corner a time or two. So when you have athletes like that, it's kind of a plug and play. The system's really good. The scheme's good. The linebackers keep everyone, in a pretty good place. But this team right here, this Central Clay team, they're a better team than Center Point. They actually took Mortimer Jordan to the very end, 26-27. Mortimer Jordan lines up for a 19-yard field goal to win the game. Clay blocks the kick, starts celebrating. Kid from Mortimer Jordan picks the ball up, runs on in the end zone. Well, the ball never crossed the line of scrimmage. So him picking it up is completely legal. They run in and win the game 32-26 because Clay thought it was over and they're celebrating. So they technically should have won that game. They lost to Jasper 10-7. So you're talking about a team here that if we don't get our offense in gear and do something this week, we could be in trouble because this defense is going to line up and we're going to need to be. We're going to have some good plays called up. We're not going to be able to line up in the same formation, run the ball. And again, that could have been a scheme from last week that might have been a game plan and we stuck to it and won. This week is going to have to be a different one. This Quentin Knight kid, going back to their offense, Quentin Knight had 3 touchdowns last week in their playoff win. And against Mortimer Jordan, he had 2 touchdowns, 149, 133. Like we talked about earlier, they beat Center Point 14-0. Center Point only had 155 total yards on them. So their defense is legit. It doesn't surprise me to hear those stats about that coach. Obviously he knows what he's doing out there. So we're going to have to, and again, we have athletes to score points. I'm not worried about that. Get them in space and let's open it up. Imagine the thing I always worry about with Etowah's defense is if me and you are playing basketball and you're just shutting down their leading scorer. You're shutting them down every time. You're killing yourself. And then I go down the court and I'm taking timeline threes. You're eventually going to be like, okay, I'm not covering this guy. I'm not going to cover him, so you can go down there. I just hope that never takes place with Etowah. And I think their defense coordinator coaches them well enough to see past stuff like that. But at some point, it's got to get a little frustrating. You know what I mean? Just as human beings. But I think they're all close enough and coached well enough, maybe not to get to that point. But I tell you, someone else showed up last week too. Is old Jamin Graham he was a beast out there on the field last week. He's a man child, and again, the Jimmies and Joes start finding their way when it's playoff time. We can't wait to depend on their defense to score points again.
What does Clay run offensively? Does anybody know? Well, I know he used to be a power team.
I would imagine he's probably old school.
Yeah.
Just
I
running
know
ball.
he used to be.
Well, against
I'm just wondering because I'd like to see how that plays.
against
into it.
Center Point, they had 158 yards total. 144 was on the ground. So.
That's
So
what
it
I'm
sounds like
saying.
he's, yeah.
And that's without me seeing film, not talking to anyone. That's just from their stats.
Coach
it looks
Rob
like.
coaching him.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, man.
Well, dude, that game could fly by with two defenses like that, and two running games like that.
Oh, yeah. My game might be over by 8:30.
Let me get a
Yes.
prediction from you, Shannon.
Good.
You usually been pretty spot on all year.
I like Etowah. And again, man, I want to say I'm going to go on the assumption that the play calling last week was more terrible field conditions. I look for us to make a couple adjustments offensively, get players in space. I don't see us giving up. If these guys only had 140, 158, you're not going to run the ball in Etowah. I'm sorry. Old Quentin Knight, I'm sorry. It was a great year for you, but this you're going to get maybe 10 to 15 yards rushing total against Etowah. I'm going to say defense scores. They do score a touchdown. They got another safety last week too, by the way. I don't know if y'all caught that
I did
message.
say that.
Let's go 34-6.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Shannon, my man.
So I think we bounce back, and I think we bounce. I just when I sit here and tell you this, it looks on when you look at that score 24-14. You know, you guys are probably thinking, oh, they gave them a little test there. It was really when it was at halftime. Everybody's like, it's 16-0. This game's over. Now they did have the scoop and score for a touchdown, and we gave up the fluky, poorly thrown ball they scored on, but Etowah's defense they're legit, man. I just don't know unless we run into a team. You can have as good a defense, maybe not as good a defense as Etowah, but unless you're a juggernaut offensively, you really don't have a whole lot of a chance, to be honest with you, if we get our offense going the right way.
All right, let's move on.
Trent Davis with a big game this week.
Trent Davis, 34-6. I take that. I take it right now and run with it. Let's talk about a game. Let's let Reggie dig into this. Let's talk about Ohatchee down here at the Creek Bank, right up 77 at the Creek Bank. Has got the 5 red machine rolling into town. We're talking 11-0 versus 12-0.
Wow. That's I don't know what to say about this matchup. Yeah, I think it's at 5.
It's in 5.
It's
Okay.
at 5. Yeah.
Never mind, my bad. Well,
Yeah. I guess Ohatchee.
Creek Bank's going to 5.
Yeah, they got to watch out for the UFOs up there.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, this is a matchup I think all of us had kind of pointed to early in the season, with both of them being in 2A. So I think Ohatchee was in 3A last year, so I think all of us knew that this matchup was gonna happen eventually, and it's gonna happen this week. Josh pointed out to us earlier that Fife has not given up a point in the playoffs, and Ohatchee has a pretty good offense, so something's going to give in this game. Ohatchee's offense is going to either kick it up, get going, or Fife's defense is going to shut them down, and they're going to take over and win the game.
That big red machine just keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
This is their 6th straight quarterfinals for Fife. They're 4-1.
Yeah.
So this is business as usual for Fife.
Yeah, they're
Great defense always beats great offense.
yeah. They're the Hoover of 2A ball, I do believe.
Yeah, I mean, until I don't care what the regular season, which they're both undefeated, but you've got to prove it in the playoffs. Fife is 12-0. 6 of those are shutouts.
Wow.
And Ohatchee's only giving up 13 points a game, but
Yeah.
that's double what Fife's giving up.
One question I have is how I've been to 5, and no disrespect to the great people of 5, we can't wait to come cover you guys eventually, if not this year, next year. How do you keep getting these guys in this smaller town?
Well, I guarantee you it has something to do.
The
First of all,
Pee-wee, you think?
I bet you the coach
it's a Pee-wee.
infiltrates the Pee-wee system.
Gotta be.
And I bet it's something like Piedmont does that.
Yeah.
It's something to that degree. If I had to guess, I mean, and somewhere like that, you have to do that.
Yeah, you do. I actually,
You sure you're next steroids?
Could be.
Just kidding.
I actually did meet some people from Fife several years ago at a gathering, and their son was playing football for Fife, and I think the daughter was a cheerleader. And I'm pretty sure from the way they were talking, I think they take their Pee-wee football very seriously up there. So
They take all football
I think
seriously.
it's I think it's just one big system up there.
Let's rapid fire me a score, Reggie. I want one from all of you.
I'm gonna go with the Red Devils on this one. I'm gonna say 31-6.
31-6. Yeshua?
This is the third round of the playoff, guys. Y'all got blowouts still happening. I think Fife does win this one. I think they win a close one, though. I'm going to say 17-14.
Common denominator in those two blowouts, they were awesome defenses.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go 22-6.
22-6.
Five.
I'm going to say 5-30. The good old boys from Ohatchee 14.
And no disrespect to the other 6 2A schools,
No.
but I feel like this should have been.
The de facto championship game.
Game,
here.
yeah. Because I don't see any other teams except for Luverne, and that is how you pronounce it. Is Luverne.
not Laverne?
It's not Laverne. It's
Oh,
Luverne. That's how you
I
pronounce
was
it.
listening to the 102.9 the other night, and he said it, and I was like, I wonder if that's right.
That is how you pronounce it. Old Mike Dubos used to be their football coach.
That's what I was about to say. That's where Ducos was.
Yeah. So Luverne is about the only other team that can give these two teams a fight.
But
But
because of the way
He's
the
got a win over
seasons are
Spurrier
going,
in the SEC championship.
That's disgusting.
All right, let's roll on rapid fire this game.
okay.
Good Hope and Aniana. 11-1 Good Hope and Aniana.
Mm.
Good Hope's on the road actually at Aniana.
yeah,
11-1
taking
and
a
9-3.
9-3 Aniana.
Let's hear it. It's gonna be a score on this row.
I think Good Hope wins big,
How much?
35-14.
I'm gonna go with the boys from Aniana on this one. They seem to
Hey, cover, boy.
Yeah, they seem to be on the roll. They seem to be clicking. Aniana's traditionally strong, so I'm gonna say Aniana in a close one, 27-21.
Yeah, let me say this. Aniana is 9-3, but in their region, they only lost region games, and those were to Jacksonville, Hoax Bluff, and Anniston. So
Boom, there you
high
go.
quality losses.
Yep.
Woods.
Go Anion to. I like that 27-21 prediction. I like that.
I'm going to go after seeing what Good Hope did last week. I'm going to go Good Hope 42, Aniana 28.
Okay.
All right, now Oxford and Clay Chalkville. Oxford 10-2 at 11-1 Clay Chalkville. The regular season game between these two is a 27-6 win for Clay Chalkville. And this one's at Clay Chalkville. Woods, lead us off.
We'll go Clay Chalkville 34. I think they get one more to 34-14.
Reggie?
I'm gonna go with Clay Chalkville. Even though it's hard to beat a team twice in one season, but Clay Chalkville, they're good. They're clicking. I'm gonna say Clay Chalkville 37-7.
Aisha?
I'll say 28-10.
I'm going to
Clay
say with the troubles that Clay or Oxford's had recently in their locker room, give me a 42-10 win. Clay
I can see
Chalkville.
that. Yeah.
Now, the last two games we're going to talk about. Deschler, 7-5 on the road at the Woodshed of Hoax Bluff.
That's where they're going to get taken to.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
This is going to be an interesting game. Very interesting matchup.
That 7-5 record does not.
Who are the losses to again?
I've actually got it pulled up right here. One of their region losses was a forfeit. Not sure why they had to forfeit that game. It was a
Illegal
game.
players, cheaters, get them out.
They won that game 65-0. They had to forfeit. And then they lost to Muscle Shows, which is a very strong 6A team.
So they played the game,
Oh, they played it?
and it was 65-0.
Yeah, so something had to happen.
Grades or something happened there, yeah.
Either grades or they had an illegal
Cheaters, get 'em
player.
out.
Yeah. They cheated.
They lost to Russellville. They took Russellville, which is a 5A playoff team, to 2 overtimes and lost by 6. They lost to Brooks, which won that region they're in, and
Man.
they lost to Jasper, which is another strong 5A playoff team that's still playing right now. So their losses you can't look at that.
And Deshler is a playoff team.
Mhm.
They've been in the
They're
playoffs.
battle tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want me to lead off, I will. It's up to you guys.
Go ahead.
It's whatever y'all want. Is that
Go
good?
for it. Go for it.
The good Lord told me cheaters never win. So, Darian Meads and company get it done in a Hopes Bluffish game, 17-14 at the Woodshed.
I will say this: Deshler is 3-3 away, and Hopes Bluff is 5-1 at home. And probably, and we talked with Coach Rob the other night. He said that the only loss of the season was on him. I thought that was
Pretty noble of them.
Mm-hmm.
pretty noble. He took that one solely on his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
But Hopes Bluff plays well at home.
Mm-hmm.
5-1 at home this year. I think Hopes Bluff gets it done, and I don't think it's as close as.
What I thought.
Yeah,
How much you think?
I'm gonna say 28-14.
Reginald?
I'm gonna go with Hopes Bluff on this one as well. After seeing what they did to a very good North Jackson team, I'm gonna say Hopes Bluff 27-10.
I like where your head's at. Woods?
I feel like a 7-5 team's happy to be in the third round of the playoffs. Hopes,
That makes sense.
that might have been a goal for them. Hopes Bluff's goal is to win a championship. So we're talking about a championship team, kind of a Southside-ish team that's on a little bit of a roll, maybe playing over their head, getting to the third round. Reality sets in this time like it did on Southside last week, and I'm gonna go the Bluff 41 and great defense 6. I'm always gonna say 6 because there's a chance
I
for
like Woods' predictions
Yeah.
today. Woods is swinging for fence.
No
He's got
contest.
blowouts.
I missed last week, so I could come out with a bang. Just
Yeah.
All right. Actually, 2 more games we got to throw at. Sachs and Randolph County, and then we're going to shut it down with Thompson and Hoover.
Okay.
Sachs 10-1 at 11-1 Randolph County. Now they did play in the regular season, and it was ugly, 41-21 Randolph County.
But
Rapid fire.
Wasn't someone out there?
the quarterback was out there.
Yes.
He's out now.
He's still out.
Yeah,
That was a season-ending injury.
yeah. We've seen it happen. Reggie and I, or Josh and I was at that
Yeah.
game.
Both these teams come out of Region 6, and Region 6 is absolute it's meat grinder. That's your region that has Piedmont, Randolph County, Sachs.
Yeah.
So this was Sachs' only loss of the season. I think they regroup. I think they get the win.
Really?
Yeah.
So was the injury during that game?
Oh, it was during the Piedmont game.
So
Their backup come in and played decent in the Piedmont game.
we're saying with a couple weeks under his belt, the dude could actually probably be a lot better right
See,
now.
Sachs lost to Randolph County. Randolph County lost to Piedmont. And somehow Piedmont ended up finishing first in that region, right?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Piedmont won that region somehow.
Sachs manhandled them.
I
That
know.
was a tiebreaker.
Yeah, like we
somehow,
got away with
yeah.
one losses, something crazy comes into play.
Yeah.
Come down to a 3-way tie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's just a bad region to be in. And Weaver's a good team, and they ended up finishing 4th in that region.
Wow. So you think they regroup?
I think Sachs regroups and gets the win.
I'm going to say Randolph County 28-21.
I like where Josh's head is. I'm gonna go with Sachs on this one. I think they get it done in a close one. Say 31-28.
Woods.
If Sachs is back up, a couple weeks under his belt in the system, we'll go 34-21.
Sachs.
Sachs.
I'm on an island over here, guys. How y'all doing? All right, let's shut it down with the big one, man.
Oh yeah,
The 7A Region 3 champs, Hoover Buccaneers,
the granddaddy of them all.
will be hosting the Thompson Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me, Josh. Lead us off, man.
These two teams played early in the year. Hoover jumped out to a big lead. Thompson Tungaloa, they ended up making a ball game out of it for a little while, but Hoover did what Hoover does. And come back for a 26-45 win. I don't see that changing. I think Hoover wins by 14.
What's the score?
Let's say 42-28.
Woods.
I pick against Alabama every week because I want to see Tua. At some point, I want to see Tua sad. At some point, so I'm gonna go with Hoover because obviously Tua's not gonna be sad with his own team anytime soon for me. So I'm gonna go Hoover 42-28. I think about the same.
Tua's going to throw a touchdown on you and then bring you to the word.
Exactly. Ready to mess with our Hawaiian Prince.
I said he's not gonna lose.
I'm gonna probably be on the island by myself on this one. I think Thompson is clicking at the right time. Don't be mad at me, Bo, but I've got to go with Thompson on this one in a very, very, very close game. I'm talking like 38. It's water.
Is that gonna be televised?
It's water. I'm gonna go
I hope so.
Thompson like 38-35. I'm calling a close one. They seem to be clicking right now. I'm probably about to get kicked out the house.
He wasn't with us. He wasn't with us at that. He
He wasn't with us, was he?
No,
No, I couldn't.
you didn't see it.
I was-
You didn't see it. You didn't see the fire in your eyes.
They're fired up, man.
I think Thompson is too.
All right.
Fair enough. I like the Tungaloas.
Hoover.
And there's 3 of them, by the way.
The only thing that scares me about Hoover, man, is their defense. Hoover tends to give up a lot of points, and they tend to get sliced and diced by Thompson. Last year they did it in the regular season. He threw for 450. This year in the regular season he threw for 470. But in the playoffs last year, if people remember on my Facebook, I stepped out and took what would probably be 2 huge underdogs, which would have been Auburn straight up to beat Alabama and Hoover straight up to beat Thompson at Thompson. Now, Thompson did win it last year in the playoffs, but take the game earlier this year, the guy threw for 470 and they still lost by 20. Okay. I think Hoover's gotten a little bit better defensively themselves, and look at their first 2 rounds, what they've given up. I think Hoover wins the game. Another shootout, 41. I'm going to say like 41-35, somewhere in that ballpark.
Do we have an update on McCammons? Is he back?
He's back and rolling.
Oh, man. Good
So
game.
he did good last week. So now, that's it for our high school weekly preview.
A lot of great games.
We are going to shut this one down, and we're going to dive right into our college preview. Guys, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the bell for the notification. This is Average Joe Sports Talk. We are out.